And welcome to Protect Our Planet Day 2024, or POP 2024 as it is commonly referred to as. I'm Campbell.
And I'm Suzie Imber, and we are here at Dynamic Earth in Edinburgh all morning, presenting all sorts of different sessions with you today.
This is my favourite spot in all of Edinburgh. I have to say, a lot of people, I like to go up Arthur's Seat or the Royal Mile, but look, behind us we have got an iceberg, a genuine iceberg.
We do.
So if you ever come to Edinburgh, come to the Dynamic Earth Science Centre. It's terrific and lots of fun. We're going to be here all day. We're going to take you on an adventure today. We're going all around the world to different kind of zones. We're going to be talking about ice. We're going to be talking about
oceans. We're going to go live to Antarctica.
Yes.
We'll be in Tromsø, Norway, all around the UK, talking about biodiversity and the world around us.
Yes, we are. Hey, and guess what? We're also going to be going off-planet.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about space, because a lot of people don't realise how important space is for protecting our planet, because everything we know and understand, the way we measure things like climate change, all happens because of satellites, because of things that we do in orbit. So
that's true, and we'll be talking live to some ESA scientists in a few minutes about how their satellites helped to protect the world around us.
We've got a little bit of housekeeping, just so you know what's up, what's going on, how it's all going to work. What do you have for us?
We do. So those of you that want to join the primary sessions, you can scroll to the bottom of the screen, and there you'll find some links, and you can click on those to join various sessions, and I'll be giving you a heads up as to what's appearing on the primary sessions as we go through the day. If you want to ask a question, please send your questions in. On the right-hand side of the page you're looking at now, you'll find a box and you can type in questions for the people that we're interviewing today.
We've already had some questions. This time last year, somebody called Taylor Swift bombarded us with questions all day. I don't know whatever happened to Taylor Swift. She's kind of vanished from the scene. But if you are, again, Taylor Swift watching, enough with the questions. Give other people a chance. Come on.
Please do send in your questions. And if you want to follow us on social media, hashtag POP24 is the social media tag.
Yes, yes.
So after the morning sessions, we're going, as we mentioned, we're going around the world to do various interviews with lots of exciting scientists.
Yep.
This afternoon, we'll be doing some careers sessions with you, and afterwards there'll be STEM Clubs Hour. And it's not too late. If you haven't downloaded your resources for that, you can find resources through the links that are going to be in the chat. And you can join us for the STEM Clubs Hour.
Great. So this morning we're going to be taking you into space. We're going to be taking you to the Antarctic. You went to the Antarctic, didn't you?
I did, exactly a year ago. I was in Antarctica, that's true.
Lots of penguins.
Lots of penguins,
Everyone loves a penguin.
Exactly.
In fact, so much I brought you a penguin. So there you go, that's for you, just to keep the world from the And this afternoon, so we've got space, we've got Antarctica, we've got oceans this morning. And this afternoon we're going to be talking a little bit about biodiversity. We mentioned that word. What does biodiversity mean? Well, to answer that question, we've got a little message from Chris Packham, who you all know from BBC television, to tell us a little bit about that later on. But he's done us a little message just to tee that up. So let's throw to Chris and see what he's got to say.
Hello, Chris Packham here, in a green coat, standing in front of some green trees out in the wild. And this is the way I like it. Not necessarily wearing a green coat, but being out in the wild. Because everything out here that creeps, crawls, slithers, bites and stings is a mate of mine. I like all life. Now, when I was younger, what I used to do is have favourite animals, and I used to worship those animals. I'll tell you a few of them. Firstly, I worshipped bats, and then it was grass snakes, then it was otters, then it was kestrels. And what I would do is I would look at all of these animals in isolation. It's as if I would almost put them on a pedestal. I wouldn't think about the rest of the world. If I was thinking about otters, I wouldn't be thinking about eagles or dolphins or gorillas. I'd just be thinking about otters. And I would think otters are great. But the world doesn't work like that. Otters, kestrels, grass snakes, bats don't live in isolation. They are all, believe it or not, intrinsically intertwined with one another. They are connected. And they are connected in a system which is dynamic, meaning that it doesn't always stay the same. Some things eventually become extinct, but other things become new species. There's the dynamism. But it's harmonious, it works, it's functional, and therefore it's even more beautiful than those individual animals on their own. So, for all of this to work, you don't just need the trees. You need the caterpillars that eat them and the birds that eat the caterpillars and the bigger birds that eat those. You need an ecosystem. And when you've got an ecosystem, you need as much of the life that can live there, living there. And that brings me to the big B word, biodiversity.
That is the big B word.
And we'll be talking all about that in a session later on today. But before we kick off with our sessions of the day, I just want to introduce Conor Ellis here, Science Learning and Engagement Director here at Dynamic Earth.
Hi Dallas, hi Suzie.
Yeah,
welcome to Dynamic Earth. It's such a pleasure to welcome you and everyone watching today to Edinburgh Science and Discovery Centre, the only centre anywhere in the UK dedicated to the story of planet Earth.
And the only science centre in the UK that has its own iceberg.
Absolutely, our own iceberg. I'm really glad that's a favourite.
I worry about you here, Conor, because it's getting cold.
It's a little bit chilly. But you guys look very well appropriate today, yes.
And your office is you have an iceberg in your office.
It's fantastic, yes. The only thing better would be penguins with the trip to Antarctica.
Well,
so,
I have one.
Please do that for next year.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So yeah, everything we do here at Dynamic Earth is all about empowering people with understanding and empathy for our planet. So we're delighted to welcome you all back this year for COP24. And I know there's going to be such a fantastic day of lots of different interactive experiences, lots of great role models, and lots of amazing opportunities for learners to see just how interconnected our planet is and how we can protect it.
Tell us a bit about the galleries that we have here at Dynamic Earth.
So Dynamic Earth is a really unique science centre. So as you can see, we've got our iceberg, but we've also got a tropical rainforest, a volcanic eruption simulator, our own planetarium. There's so many things going on in this centre that you can come and experience.
Actually, something that Chris said, that idea of ecosystems and all these different rooms that you have. You've got icebergs and you've got rainforest, but they all work together. This is the thing about
we're trying to
Dynamic
show
Earth.
we're trying to show the totality of our planet,
Yes.
the interconnectivity of everything, and how we all have that impact on our planets. Yes.
So we've got thousands of
Lots
school
of school
children
learners.
joining us today. Yes.
Good morning.
Hi everyone. Good
They're
morning.
still waking up. Look at that one there. They're still half asleep.
Tell us a bit about school visits to Dynamic Earth. Can people come here?
Yeah, so Dynamic Earth is for everyone. We're really fortunate. We welcome tens of thousands of learners every year through our doors, but we also do national outreach across Scotland for schools that can't come to us and online programmes as well. So we're used to several 10,000s, not the many, like hundreds of thousands we've got today, but yeah, anyone can come to Dynamic Earth. We've got great interactive workshops indoors in our learning centre on every topic under planet Earth you can imagine. We also do outdoor learning programmes and digital programmes as well to reach every part of the country.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Great. This is my favourite gallery, though.
It's my favourite too.
I love the iceberg. How often do you get to hug an iceberg? Not
I mean,
very
exactly.
often.
Every other day you come down and
And so tell us a bit about what you're looking forward to today.
Do you want to know, there's so many things that I'm looking forward to today. I think the great thing about POP is just bringing together so many different partner organisations and so many different scientists working to understand and protect our planet. And I'm just really looking forward to feeling inspired, and I know that will permeate across the country to everyone that's watching today.
My favourite thing, I have to say, is the questions that we get from people watching, because they're so diverse and so varied, the questions, and even if they're difficult questions, even though they're questions that we can't answer, I like having a go or being able to introduce an expert who can have a go at trying to answer.
Absolutely. It's about asking hard questions and exploring to find answers, isn't it? And that's what we're hoping to inspire today. So
don't forget, if you've got any questions, in the little box on the right-hand side
Right-hand side of the screen.
There are no stupid questions. That's the other thing.
Ask away.
Ask anything you want. Ask anything you want.
Yeah, challenge our experts for sure.
Right, we are going to... Thank you very much,
you're very
Conor.
welcome. Have a great day.
Thank you.
We'll catch up with you a little bit later.
We will.
We said that we were going to take you all over the planet today, and our first stop is in Azerbaijan, in Baku, which is the capital of Azerbaijan. We're going to be taking you to... It is not to be confused with POP24, Protect Our Planet 2024. We're going to be taking you to COP29. What is COP29? What is COP all about?
Yeah, well, this is in Baku in Azerbaijan. It's a collection of scientists and policymakers in one place, all discussing how we can protect our planet from climate change looking forwards.
Yeah, it's quite a political event. You've got politicians and scientists all working together. We have got Paul Fisher, who is the communications manager at ESA, the European Space Agency, the Climate Office, and Clement Albergel, who's the head of ESA's climate team. I hope I pronounced
Aha, I can see them. Hello.
Hey, nice to see you. We were worried about your link, but we've got you there. Can you hear us?
I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me? Because there's music going on at POP at the moment.
Ah, there's a disco going on
Looks
at
like
POP.
a party.
Okay,
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. So you're in Baku. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about what you're doing, the kind of events that you're going, the kind of conversations that you're having.
Yeah, so what you can see behind me is the main World Leaders Summit. So we have the United Nations leader, Antonio Guterres, giving a statement. on how he wants to see the humans tackle the climate. The European Space Agency is here to show how satellites are helping give paint a picture of the world and how it's changing, so we can inform the decision makers that are all in the room today. And we have people from literally every country on Earth, more or less. And that will include our Prime Minister in the room somewhere as well from the UK, and the European Union as well. So we're talking about issues relating to the frozen parts of the planet, so permafrost up in the Northern Hemisphere. We're talking about how we're helping with disaster recovery and all key elements of the climate, so that we can understand how the planet is changing, what the state of the climate is, and more importantly, how countries around the world can identify what they need to do and the actions that they need to take to reduce carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere to stop the planet getting too warm. So that's what we're doing.
And how's it going? I mean, you mentioned our Prime Minister was there. I mean, are these quite political, these sessions? Are there lots of politicians horse trading and negotiating and talking about what to do? Is there a general consensus about what to do?
They're all here having those negotiations, and over the 2 weeks, they'll hopefully come up with a consensus. So the main thing they're looking to do at this COP is identify the finance, so get the money together to help developing countries take climate action. So giving them the money so that they can reduce their emissions, or more importantly, take the emissions out of the atmosphere through save the world's forests.
I mentioned the European Space Agency earlier on, and for those people who aren't familiar with the European Space Agency, generally when we think about space travel, we might think about astronauts and we might think about going to other planets. But just highlight for us just how important the space industry and things like the European Space Agency is for understanding our planet.
Yeah, well, okay, so we build launch satellites. Some look out, but the ones that we're interested in the Earth Observation Programme, all look at the planet, and they give a unique view of the entire planet. They give a continuous view day after day, year after year, decade after decade. And they're not just cameras that give pretty pictures. They give some information on things you can't see with the human eye. So vapor and greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, the amount of carbon in forests, the moisture in the soil and the height of the sea level. So we have constellations of satellites that hopefully you'll hear about in a moment from my colleagues, of some of the technology that we use and how we can monitor the entire planet to help inform society globally, individually, and probably even local, where all your viewers are watching today.
Well, we've got a dedicated space session coming up in a few moments, but we've got Clement, I think, do we have? Joining us.
With us as well?
Good morning, everyone.
Hey.
Yes, I'm here, just on the other side of the room.
I can't see you. You're like an invisible, disembodied voice.
But we can hear you. Yeah, welcome. I have a question for you, actually. I'm just wondering kind of what a successful COP will look like for you. Oh, there you are. We see you. Great. Great stuff. Yeah, what would a successful COP look like, do you think?
Well, that's a very important question. I think a successful COP will be one where all our world leaders and experts will reach a consensus on deciding how to curb our emission on greenhouse gas, and also how to attribute the finance to help the countries that are suffering the most from climate change without really contributing to it.
And we've got a few questions coming in. I'm wondering if you'd be able to answer some of them. Do we have any questions?
Well, maybe we're not refreshing the screen well here, so we'll have to... We'll let you know if any pop in. We'll keep an eye on this. And if you're watching now and you want to ask questions live to COP29 in Baku and Azerbaijan, please pop some questions in the chat if you have anything you'd like to ask our ESA experts.
I'm kind of interested because obviously there are these COP events every single year, and here we are at COP29. When you're there, do you actually see change from year to year? Are you an optimist every year that you go to these events?
I am an optimistic by nature, indeed, and we can see more and more that we can teach people of the value that the space sector can bring to our understanding of climate. And the more we understand the climate, the more we can pass the message on how to protect to protect it. Satellite Earth observation, the one we build and that were mentioned by Paul, can be really helpful for efficient policy making and then for policy implementation monitoring. So yes, year after year, we can see new people asking more fresh questions, let's say, that we feel are going in the right direction.
Good. Well, thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much, Clement. Thank you very much to Paul. That's all from Baku for the time being. We're actually going to go and do a dedicated space session to talk to more people who work in the space sector and how we, what we call Earth observation, satellites looking back on Earth.
That is true. Just to highlight what's coming up, if you are interested in a primary session, we have Pop into the Ocean, which starts at 9:10. So in 2 minutes, you can find the link to that at the bottom of the page. So if you want to go to that primary session, that's how you go about doing that.
And we should point out that all these sessions are going to be recorded. So you can, at some point in the future, you'll be able to watch them in the leisure of your own time, however you want to do that.
Exactly,
right.
exactly.
OK, we're off to go and talk about space now.
Yeah, next session.
OK, see you in a couple of minutes.
See you in a couple of minutes.